of these online movement modalities videos. My name is Brenda, I'm a movement therapist, and in this video we're going to motivate movement with the use of a reflex ball. If you don't have a reflex ball, a tennis ball will do, and you're going to need one of these circle resistance bands for some of the movements at the end. And don't forget your all-important water. We obviously need to hydrate that fascial tissue and just plump everything up to prevent risk of injury with a lot of fascial releases with the ball. Let's start up in standing. You're going to bring your foot onto the ball, the big toe, and you're going to massage from the toe to the heel and just apply a nice deep pressure. If you don't have a reflex ball, tennis ball will do, and you can just soften it by wrapping it up in a sock, and you can just release all the different lines of the body except for the arm lines that start in the feet. So we're really going to focus a lot on spiral movements today and a lot into that deep core line. So from the arch of the foot, it runs up the inside of the leg. That's your deep core line, and it moves up and into the diaphragm, that part of that deep core line, and up and around into the neck and around the base of the skull. So we're going to get to all those areas as we move through the routine. Just a nice deep release there into the sole of the foot. Let's change and move over to the other ball. So push into the ball and move from the toes to the heel. A nice deep pressure. So make sure the ball is right underneath you. Try not to stand too far away from it, because you can't put that much weight into it. If you bring both feet side by side and keep the ball underneath you, you can apply a nice deep pressure to the sole of that foot. Keep rolling. Keep focusing on the breathing. So when we think about the breathing, we want to focus on a nice deep diaphragmatic breath, breathing in and out through the nose. Let's release the ball, just one more, and you can put the ball to your side. We're going to use it in a few minutes. Take the right foot behind, and I want you to step the left foot in front. So, or actually take the right foot in front, and you can step the left foot behind. So I'll mirror you, and we're going to work along that left, releasing the diaphragm. So the left side, releasing the diaphragm. You want to move from the hip bone up to the rib cage. So we are stretching. You should feel a nice stretch into the front of the hip. You're going to take the hands directly onto the skin, and I want you to massage from the hip bone up to the rib cage. So if you can, I want you to take your hands directly onto your skin. That way you'll get a bit deeper into the release. So we're working along and around that diaphragm, that area that sits deep within the core. The diaphragm, obviously really responsible for that breathing. It's our main muscle of respiration. And you're going to work into releasing that psoas muscle, which sits deep within the back as well. The more we release the diaphragm, the more we can release that psoas muscle that often causes a lot of tension in that lower back. Another way you can increase that stretch and that release is by tucking the glutes under. So you squeezing the glutes and tucking under, giving a little bit more length into the front of that leg, and continue massaging from the hip up to the rib cage. As you move, bouncing in to that stretch. Just a small little bounce which will help hydrate that fascial tissue. And make sure your knee is behind your ankle or just above your ankle, so you're not overextending that front knee. From there, you're going to drop down onto your knee, And we're going to bring the front foot slightly closer. The back foot, so stay as you are, just watch me. The back foot, I really want you to focus on the plantar fascia stretch, so right into the arch of the foot. So you're going to sit the tailbone back onto the heel and bring your supporting foot next to the knee. We're going to bounce like you would in a starting position. Spread your fingers out, heel to the tailbone. Now lift the tailbone up and down for 10, 9, 8, 7, relax the head, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now from there you're going to lift the foot, relax the head and look at the knees, so you're challenging your balance, and bounce the hands around the supporting foot. So really focusing on that balance and that ankle for stability. Keep looking at the knee. Another 2 and another 1. Hold it here. Slowly keeping that foot lifted. Uncurl. Feeling that ankle really have to work to kick into action. Just give everything a nice shake out. So that leg you were balancing on, I want you to still stand on it and take the knee that was underneath you and bring it right towards the chest. So another nice psoas stretch as you pull the knee into the chest. That psoas muscle that sits in the lower back. While we're holding it there and balancing, release the ankle. Now you're going to take this leg and you're going to bring it in front. So your right leg should be behind now. And you're going to take the hands onto that hip and we're going to massage from the hip bone. Try work directly onto the skin. Massaging that fascial tissue right deep within the core. You want to apply a nice deep pressure so you can work into that release. Keep focusing on the breathing. Another 4 and 3. Keep tucking under, giving that stretch into the front of that back leg. And the last one. Good. Drop down onto the knee. Bring that front foot right next to the supporting knee. Make sure the back foot, the toes are curled under, so we're stretching into that plantar fascia. Hands onto either side of that front foot and knee. Drop the head and we bounce for 10, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Stay lifted up on the heel. 3, 2, 1. Here we stay lifting that foot and bouncing the hands around the foot. Keep going. So nice light pressure onto the hands. Spread the toes out and really focus on that strength in the ankle. Last 2. Last 1. Good, hold it there. And a nice deep breath in. And slowly uncurl. So that lifted foot is the one that's coming up to the knee. Focus on the supporting foot. Put the weight into the big toe and keep that ankle nice and steady. Bring that knee as close to your chest as you can and circling the ankle. 4 more. 3, change direction if you haven't already. 2 and 1. Good, and shake everything up. Good, we're coming back onto the mat into a seated position. Here we're going to work into knee box positions. So you want your knees at a 90-degree angle to the side, and we're going to work into a few rotations, loosening up into the hips. So if you want to start over to the right side, take the reflex ball again, and you're going to bring it, you've got 2 ankle bones on either side of that ankle. Behind the ankle bone, slightly higher than that ankle bone, but behind the bone, I want you to put the reflex ball or your tennis ball. Take either your fist and push the knuckles into the top of that ankle, again above that ankle bone, that malleolus bone, or you can take the heel of your hand and apply a nice deep pressure, and then you circle. I find the heel of the hand works nicely because then you can take the hand and wrap it around the ankle and hold on to it. That will help you put a little bit more weight into it. Now you're circling the ankle again, and then you're going to change direction. Good. And just a point and a flex, and a flex and a point. Good. From there, so you're still in that knee box position. Your feet will stay where they are. You'll take the reflex ball from the ankle bone, behind the bone. You're working up the inside of that shin and the calf. You're massaging along the deep core line. So we spoke about the deep core line before, running from the arch of the foot along where the plantar fascia is, along the inside line of that leg. And you're going to massage. You can take two hands onto the ball if you want to apply a little bit more weight, and pressure into that release. So we're massaging along that fascial line. You're going to take the ball onto the knee, one hand or two hands, it's up to you, and give it a good circle there, massaging and releasing there. Now you're going to continue moving up the inside of the leg along those adductor muscles. You can move the ball up and down, or you can move from side to side, as well as circular motions. If you feel you need it more in one spot than another, hang around that spot, and again, a little circular motion in that area just to release it. Continue moving along that inner thigh, right up into the groin, and you can move, as I said, in those three different directions. Good. Bring your feet back onto the mat or floor in front of you. And now I want you to take the ball behind the knee. So I'll show you from the side. So you're going to hold onto it here. The muscle called the popliteus behind the knee, also part of that deep core line. Feet are flat, knees are bent. Lift your bum and bounce into the ball. If you do have any knee issues and you're not comfortable with the ball behind the knee, then just do the movement without that ball. You just want to get that synovial fluid running through the joint. The added benefit of the ball is it releases that popliteus muscle behind the knee. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. So you're moving that foot out and in. Good. Taking the reflex ball, you're going to position it under the glutes, and I want you to massage under the glutes, under that buttock. So the same leg we've been working, just focus on that side of the leg. Massage forward and back, and side to side. So working a little bit the glutes on the lateral side of the leg. Remember, the glutes are the biggest muscle group in the body. So just a nice big range of movement here, releasing the lateral side as well. And we're going to move over to the other side. So you started off in that seated position, go over to your left side now, into that knee box position. Ball just above, but quite far back, and not too far back with the ankles, and quite a small area to work around. So just above that ankle bone, that malleolus bone, either the heel of the hand or the knuckle into the ankle, and you're holding on to that pressure there around the ankle, and really releasing that fascial tissue as you circle that ankle. Change direction. And just a nice point and a flex, point and a flex. Keep going. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Release the ball. Take the ball and you're going to continue massaging up the inside of that leg. Both hands or one hand. You can move up towards the knee or forward and back. Releasing that fascial tissue. Make sure you're walking behind the shin bone along that soft tissue there. Bring the ball onto the knee and massage around in that one direction there. Then taking the ball with both hands or one hand, you can move up towards the hip when you're ready. Side to side, move in circular directions or lengthways along that leg. Good. Keep moving up and down that thigh, releasing those adductors. We're going to bring the ball behind the knee, so come back into that seated position, ball behind the knee, and lifting the tailbone, hands supporting you, releasing that popliteus muscle. Push forward into the ball. Use the ball, but if the knee is taking any strain, you can release the ball. And when you're ready, you're going to rotate that foot out and in. Keep going. Another 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ball underneath the hip, underneath the glutes, and you're going to massage around that area. Drop the knee, work into this lateral side of the glutes. And you can release the ball. We're going to use it in a few minutes. Come back into that seated position, to that knee box position. Bring the hands behind you, open up across the chest. And I want you just to drop the knees from side to side. You'll feel yourself shifting forward and back on the mat. Just bring yourself back when you come too far forward. Another 2 and 1. Hold it over to the right side. And I want you to lean the body forward. So right from the hips, hinge from the hips. Move side to side. Now you're going to work in a circular direction. Change your direction. Try and bring the chest right down to that thigh. Another 2 and another 1. Let's do the same thing to the other side. Just forward over the thigh or the shin and move from side to side, and you're circling that upper body. Let's rotate the other way. Keep going. Last one. Let's come back over to the right side. Take the left arm and reach it around into a nice rotation, almost looking over the opposite shoulder. Do the same thing again to the other side. Rotate and reach. Lengthen from the shoulder and feel a stretch across from the shoulder to the opposite hip in that knee box position. Rotating again. Let's move again. Reach and rotate. Good. Open up and rotate. Keep going. Another 2. Reach. And the last set to the right side. and reach, and over to the left side, and reach. Good, let's come back to the first side. Bring your elbows, should I say your arm, your forearm in front of your shin, and both elbows on the mat. One hand to the one elbow, the other hand in front of the other elbow. You're going to lift and lower that back knee. So try and keep the foot nice and open, sort of that 90-degree angle from the hip and the 90-degree angle from to the foot. Let's lift and lower that knee. So for 10, for 9, and 8. Make sure both elbows stay on the mat. If you're not comfortable in that position, come onto the hands and stay lifted. But if you can, lean forward into it and lengthen right from the hips. I think we've done 10. Let's lift and lower that foot and that leg. Stick with the first option. If you don't want, or if you're not comfortable to come into this position, let's do another 5 and 4 and 3, 2 and 1. From here, knee in and open. For 2 and open. For 3 and open. 4, look away, look at the knee, look away. 6 and 7 and 8, 9, breathe out as you come together, and last one, 10, open up. Let's go over to the left side. Bring your shins, bring your elbows and your forearms in front of that shin. Open up to that 90-degree angle, and let's go into that lift. For 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Lift the leg for 10, 9, 8. Remember, you can come up if you want to. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knee comes in. Breathe in and open up. Look at the knee. Breathe in, look away. For 3, in, look away. 4 and 5 and 6. Keep going. 7 and 8. Last 2 and last 1. Come back to your center and just rock the knees from side to side. Good. Bring both feet over to the right side. If you have got your water handy, have a nice quick drink. From there, we're going to take the reflex ball again. I want you to link the hands together and bring the reflex ball onto the hands. You're going to bring the feet flat and the knees bent, and bring the reflex ball behind the ears onto the occiput ridge. So it's right at the base of the skull. Your fingers are linked. The ball is in the hands and stays in the hands as you put the head down onto the ball. It's resting on the bones along that occiput ridge, in line with, or maybe just a little bit higher than the earlobes. Now you're going to move from side to side. So the ball moves a little bit in the hands, but the head nods from side to side, and the ball releases the fascial tissue along the base of the skull, often an area we carry a lot of tension, especially from migraines, and if your posture is compromised. Move the ball from side to side. So you've got a bone behind the ear called the malleolus, and the ankle bone is the malleolus. The bone I'm looking for behind the ear is the mastoid process, and that we are moving from one mastoid process to the other mastoid process behind the ears, working along that occiput ridge. Good. Okay, keeping the head in one hand. Before you do that, I want you to take the ball and bring it onto the muscle called the rhomboid muscle. So I want you to find your spine and just just below the top of the spine, next to the spine, your scapula or your shoulder blade, you're going to position the ball. Now bring your head back into your hand, and the arm that is lifted, you're going to circle that shoulder and that elbow and release that rhomboid muscle. You've got two rhomboid muscles, your rhomboid major and your rhomboid minor. So I want you to position it somewhere around those muscles on the back, right next to the spine, and we're releasing those muscles. Often these muscles are in an overextended position because the posture has become rounded when we sit for long periods. So we want to release this muscle and start activating it by bringing the shoulder blades together at the back and opening more across the chest when we focus on our posture. Circle in the opposite direction if you haven't changed direction already. Good. From there, you're going to release the ball and bring it over to the other side of the spine. So it's around about this area on that side of the spine that you're changing this. Rest the head in that hand that you're using to position the ball. Move it around a little bit if you need to, and then you want to feel that release. Now we're working around the rotator cuffs. So when you're moving in this circular motion, you might feel a bit of a clicking sensation in the front of that shoulder. That is part of your rotator cuff. So it's a very nice release for these muscles that make up the rotator cuff. Are you focusing on your breathing? Nice deep breath in as you circle that arm. Change direction. Keep focusing on breathing through the nose. From there, we're going to position the ball into the center of, well, I would say probably a little bit higher than halfway, around about the diaphragm. So we have something called the xiphoid process, where the rib cage meets the sternum. You want to be on the behind that, on the back. So you are bringing the reflex ball or your tennis ball onto the spine. If you are working with the tennis ball, please make sure you cover it in a pair of socks or two, just to soften it up so it's not too hard for the spine. Bring the hands behind the head. Now we're focusing on our breathing, so we're really opening up into the diaphragm with the position of that ball. I want you to breathe into this open position. As you breathe out, you're pushing into the ball and tucking the pelvis under slightly. Engage your glutes as you squeeze them and push down into the mat and into that reflex or tennis ball. Breathe in again through the nose, really open up into the diaphragm. Breathe into the space you're creating and breathe out and tuck. Again, a nice deep breath in. Open up. Breathe out. Push into the ball. Tuck and squeeze the glutes. Breathe in and open. We're going to just do one more nice deep breath out. Exhale, 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 exhale. And again, nice deep breath in. We want to work between 4 counts. on your inhalation and breathe out for 4 to 6 counts on your exhalation. So we really want to get rid of that air, get rid of that breath, get rid of that breath. And let's release. From here, just squeeze the tailbone and tuck it under. Breathe in and lift the tailbone up. We're going to position the ball again on the spine, and you're going to now take it in line with the hip bones. So we're working into that sacroiliac spine. Again, we're breathing in and arching. We're breathing out and tucking. A nice deep breath in. Bring the tailbone onto the mat. Open up into the diaphragm. Breathe into the belly button and breathe out. Squeezing the glutes, tucking under, pushing into the lower back, into the ball, and tucking the tailbone under. Breathe in and open up. Breathe out. Squeeze those glutes and tuck under. Breathe in again. Keep the feet flat. Big toes onto the mat and tuck under. The last one, nice deep breath in and breathe out. From here, I want you to reposition the ball onto the right side of the spine. You have a little bit of a dimple, and it is in line with your hip bone. You're going to bring the tennis ball, the reflex ball, onto that dimple. So it's just a little bit to the right side of the spine, and you're going to again apply a nice deep pressure into it. Keep your left leg bent, and your right knee, as we did in standing, is coming towards your chest. Now we've got the added release of that reflex or tennis ball. You're just going to bounce that knee into the chest. Now again, bring the hands behind the head, and you're going to draw a circle with that knee. So we're releasing that psoas muscle deep within that lower back. Good. You can lift your supporting leg. It will challenge your balance a little bit. Change direction of that knee. Now I want you to take that foot just onto the supporting knee and pull that knee across. You're just going to bounce it across towards the center of the body. Keep going, applying that pressure into the ball. And 3, 2, and 1. You're going to cross that same ankle over the knee. Now we want to move the ball towards the hip bone and back to that dimple. So you're rocking and almost a seesaw motion, lifting the opposite hip and rocking from side to side. Keep going. Last 2 and the last 1. Good. Release the foot, push the pelvis up and take the ball out. Just stay where you are and bring the ball underneath the other dimple on the left side of the spine. I'm just going to rotate, and let's have that dimple there, supporting right foot bent and the knee, the foot flat and the knee bent. Hug the knee into the chest and just bounce that knee towards your chest to start. And you can bring the hands behind the head if you want to, or just release them next to the body, and you're going to draw a circle with the knee. Let's change direction. Bring the foot onto the knee and take the opposite hand and just bounce it across. Let's open up that knee and move the ball along that sacroiliac spine from the dimple towards the hip bone. Last two from one side to the other side, and release. We're going to take the reflex ball, bring the feet side by side so there's no space between the feet. Bring the reflex ball between the knees. Hands either behind the head or next to the body. We're going to focus on breathing into our arch, so slightly lifting that lower back off. A nice deep breath into the diaphragm, breathe out. As you breathe out, I want you to squeeze the ball, tuck the tailbone under, engage the glutes. Breathe in and thrust up. Good, and roll down through the spine. Try to bring the feet as close to the tailbone as you can, so we really want to focus on those glutes, and that'll help strengthen that core. Stronger the glutes are, the stronger that core is going to be. Squeeze the ball, tuck the tailbone under. Breathe in and thrust up. Lower down through the spine. Again, we're going to do another 4. Breathe out. Squeeze. Breathe in. And lower down. Breathe out. Again, let's add the arms. Circle the arms as you tuck under. Release the arms at the sides. Breathe in. Thrust up. Lower down. Breathe out. Another 3 to go. Let's do 3 more. And breathe out. Squeeze the ball. Tuck the tailbone. Push up into thrust. And roll down through the spine. Another 2. Breathe in. Take your time and focus on the breathing. Focus on the squeezing. And really get deep into that core. Breathe in. And roll down through the spine. For the last one. Breathe in, open up. Squeeze the ball. Tuck the tailbone. Breathing out through the nose. And again. Breathe in, hold it here, and just focus on the exhalation, staying in the lifted position. Breathe in. And breathe out. And one more. And breathe out. Release and hug the knees into the chest. Release that reflex ball. Now we're going to bring the resistance band just above the knees. And you're going to lower back down. So for this movement, we're going to bring the arms out at shoulder height. And I want you to drop the knees over to one side. You can slightly lift the knees up. Separate the knees and create some resistance with that band. Take that bottom foot slightly out, not too far, not too close to the tailbone. And we're going to rotate. So keeping that resistance and working into the glutes, rotate that top hip and drop the foot. Let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it there and just bounce the knee for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Relax the head so the neck is not tense. 2 and 1. Good. Keep it here. We're going to do the same thing again. So bounce the top foot for 10, 9, 8. You should be feeling in the glutes. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold the feet together and bounce that knee for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's come over to the other side. Resistance in the band and pulse that top foot for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Keep going. 3, 2, 1. Keep the knees apart and bounce that top knee up for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Separate the feet again and pulse for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
8, 9, 10. Hold it there and pulse the knee up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Come back to the center. Hug the knees into the chest. Rock yourself into a seated position. Keep your resistance band where it is and have a quick drink of water. So we're going to rotate onto our hands and knees. And I want you to increase the tempo a little bit. So we're spreading our hands and our feet out, so we're keeping the resistance in the band and spread the fingers out. If you're not comfortable on the hands, you're taking strain in the wrists, then just come down onto the elbows. Lifting the knees, we're going to pulse the legs out for 10, and then we're going to move forward like 1, 2. So hands and feet together. 3, 4, 5. We're taking it back for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Holding it here again for 10, 9. So we're going to focus on increasing the tempo, as I mentioned, and moving the same hand and foot forward and the same hand and foot back. 5 forward, 5 back, repeat. So we're going to do 3 repeaters. We're going to walk forward, pulse out for 10, walk forward 5, walk back 5, pulse out for 10, and repeat it 3 times. So here we go. Hands and knees. Lift the knees into that short plank position. Try not to round into it. Keep a nice flat back parallel to the mat. Lift those knees up. And here we go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go forward on the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back on the right. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pulse it out. 10, 9, 8, 5, 4, 3. Check in with your back when you get tired. Last one. Forward on the left. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back on the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And pulse it out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's take a quick break. And I think just to even things out, we're going to do 2 more, repeating it on the right and then on the left. Take a quick drink of water. Focus on your breathing. Ready for 2 more sets of 10 each. Open up. Hands or elbows. Lift the knees for 10, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. On the right. 4, with 3, 4, 5. Back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. On the left. Forward. 2, 3, 4, 5. Take it back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well done. Release onto the knees. Back into your seated position and release your band. Releasing the band. We're going to lie back onto our mat. Let's start off with if you're watching me, you want to straighten your left leg, bring your right arm, let's do the left side first, sorry. So bring the left arm in the right arm, the left arm and the left leg into an extended position and rock towards your video, and you're going to almost hook that right knee behind your leg, your extended leg, and bring your hand, your right hand,
onto the back of your head. Now here, the idea is to keep the glutes engaged. As we come into a rotation, you're going to drop that shoulder and that elbow, the right one, open it up. Now you're going to reach the left hand to the knee. So tucking the chin to the chest, coming up into a chest lift, and then you're going to breathe in back into that extension. So we're going to do about 5 on either side. You're going to hold it there for a few seconds as you breathe out. So again, a nice deep breath in for 4 counts. And open up. Breathe out, opening up that right shoulder. Keep pushing that top hip forward, that right hip forward, and pushing that knee back. Breathe in and open up. Good. As you breathe out, reach the hand to the knee. Keep pushing the knee back and the hip forward. Breathe in, open up. Let's do it another 3 times. A nice deep breath in. As you open up, breathe out. Reach, reach, reach. Keep squeezing the glutes. Breathe in, open up. Lovely. Last 2. Breathe in and breathe out. As you reach, open up that right shoulder. Keep pushing that hip forward and the knee back. Breathe in, open up. Let's go up for the last time. Open up that shoulder and reach. Good. And a nice deep breath in. Stay in this position. Challenge your balance a little bit by bringing the foot into the hand and tucking the tailbone under. And getting a nice stretch into the front of the leg, into those quadriceps. Heel to the tailbone and squeeze and tuck under. Good. Bring that knee in front and just opening up across the chest. Bounce that knee down to the floor. Try to keep your right shoulder, that opposite shoulder, down into the mat and look towards your right hand. Rock onto your back, bring your right knee into your chest, and a nice big rocking motion up. Let's go over to the other side. So you're going to lengthen your right leg now and bring your arm onto your ear onto your arm. Hook your left foot behind your extended knee. Bring your hand behind your head. Take a nice deep breath in. Really squeeze the glutes and push that knee back. Breathe out. Keep pushing the knee forward. The knee back and the hip forward. Reach the hand to the knee. Breathe in and open up. As you breathe out, open up that shoulder. Push the hip forward. Push the knee back. Reach to the knee. Breathe in. Open up. Good. Breathe out and reach to the knee. Nice deep breath in. Open up. Good. Breathe out and reach to the knee. And breathe in. Last one. Breathe out and reach to the knee. And a nice deep breath in. Open up. Good. Bring that top hand in front and just challenging your balance again. You can bring that top hand, the bottom hand flat, and the top hand holds onto that foot as you tuck under and stretch into the quadriceps. Bring that foot in front. Open up the shoulders and open up across the chest to shoulder height and bounce that knee down. Look away from the direction the knee is going and feel that stretch into that lower back. Bounce that knee up and down for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Knee into the